Hey guys, and welcome to this week's riveting art video. So a couple weeks ago I posted a video where I started an oil painting. So here's the video of me actually doing the oil painting. I'm just showing you some of the brands of paint I use and about how much they run. You know, each brand is a little bit different. And also I'm cleaning off my glass palette because the last time I did a painting I didn't clean it off when I was done with it. And I kind of regret it because it was a lot of work to clean. And even then, this is about as clean as I could get it, but, you know, it doesn't matter that much. Also, some of my paints I had a hard time opening, so I used, like, the nut cracker part of my kitchen scissors, and I was able to, like, open it. I guess you could also do that with a pair of pliers, but whatever. It worked for me, and it's what I had on it. So, as you can see here, I'm just kind of squirting out all my colors. I like to do like a gradient. I'm mixing the skin tones right now. And then this is the technique I use for mixing paints. I don't like to mix my oil colors with my brush because I feel like it gets the paint up into the bristles and then makes it hard to clean and potentially could ruin your brushes. So, as you can see, I made my skin colors and I like to do like a gradient across my palette just so that it's easy to visualize, like, okay, it goes from lightest to darkest, and that way I don't accidentally, use the wrong shade or something. And then also, I went in and made this kind of nice blushy color by adding a little bit of a magenta in with a skin tone beige. I did a light and a dark shade of that color. Alright. And here we are putting my first blob of paint onto the canvas. I want to take this moment because you're seeing my sketch here. So I kind of wish I'd done my sketch in a more like maybe like a brown or a beige color. In certain areas the pink looks really nice because you can kind of see it through the paint just a little bit. However, there are some areas where it's like a little too prominent, but also I don't mind it. Like, I kind of knew it was gonna do that, so yeah. If you want some more advice on how to prep your sketch and how to get ready for a painting, definitely go check out my video from a couple weeks ago. It'll be in the cards so you can kind of see how I prep a canvas. And then I mixed up this blue color to do the eyes of the second girl on the canvas. I didn't really like the blue. It just seemed a little too kind of fake almost. I really liked how the green eyes turned out, so I kind of wish I'd given them both just green eyes. But I kind of also wanted the blue eyes so that they would, differentiate from each other. I had a lot more trouble painting this face than I did the first face. I don't know, there's just something about the proportions and just getting the shadows right that just like was a little difficult for me. So on my first night I finished up both of their faces actually. At this time I didn't think I was gonna finish anymore that night because it was just getting kind of late, but I ended up doing more in like an hour after a little break. But I had a lot of paint left over, so I want to show you, in order to preserve that paint, I just put a nice layer of saran wrap over. So yeah, and it helps kind of like keep the air away from it, and sometimes you'll get a little bit of, like, if it waits for a long time, you'll get a little layer like that dries up, but for the most part they're still going to be usable pigment, and oil paints are expensive, so we got to save what we can. So it's been a week since I've painted. I got busy. Just got a new job. But this is actually a great example of why oil paints are amazing. So this is that same palette, but it took me about a week until I could get back to painting again because I started a new job. So I wanted to show you that it's all just been under the saran wrap, and when I squish it you can see the paint it's still like squishy. There's still usable pigment and wet paint under there. That's not something you could do with acrylic. And so today I want to add in like blush and stuff on their faces. And so I want to do like kind of a transparent pink color. So I'm going to add in a little bit of liquid to my color, probably into this color. So this is going to make this color transparent, so when I lay it down, it'll kind of blend in nicely with these colors without making it watery. So if I were to dilute this color with the OMS, it would be watery, I would risk dripping, it would also reactivate the paint underneath it, where the liquid is going to keep it a nice frosting-like, paint-like texture, but still be transparent. So, hope that made sense, and I'll just insert some clips here showing you how I go about that. So as you can see, it's like super subtle, but it makes a big difference. And because it's thinned out with the liquid, it dries way faster than regular paint. And so you can layer up with these like subtle layers over and over again. It's very subtle, but it really just adds a little bit of pink and life into her face. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in a few more places. So far I just have it right here and a little bit on her nose. So in some of these fast forwards, you can see the show I'm watching on my computer monitor in the background. So comment down below if you can tell what shows these are, or if you just know what they are, if you watch them. So this is what this face looks like now. It's got the little bits of pink tones around the eyes and on the cheeks and the nose. I was really struggling with this face because I was like, this one just looked so realistic, but then this one just kind of had a weird feel to it. But I realized that I just didn't push the shadows on this one enough. On this one I did like the harsh shadow on this side, and I wasn't like afraid to go in with the dark colors. But on this one I didn't have that forehead shade, I didn't have that cheek contour, I didn't even have this like neck contour. And then even like right here, this bit of shading right here where her face is blocking her and it's like kind of going behind the hair a little bit, I hadn't even shaded that. So like I don't know why I was like I don't know why it took so long for that to click. And even this tiniest like subtlest shadow like of the lips, you know, little things like that I had completely like missed. So now I feel like it looks way more realistic. So I feel like they kind of match now. Next step I'm gonna do is an underpainting for the hair, because that's the darkest colors are gonna be in some of like these spots, and I don't want to have to like lay the paint on super thick to get it to be full coverage. So I'm gonna do a little bit of underpainting by using OMS with a dark color and just kind of laying it in. It's gonna look kind of ugly, but it'll look good at the end. Alright, so here you can see what underpainting I did for the hair. As I mentioned before, it's like definitely a really rough. I just kind of wanted to find the darkest parts of the hair and the highlights, and just kind of sort of just put those down on here so that I don't get lost and confused when I'm going in and doing the real hair, you know what I mean? Alright, so I'm gonna mix the colors for the hair. It's gonna be, so we're gonna have this orange mixed in with a little bit of this burnt umber to make it like an orangey brown, some yellow and white for the highlighted areas. So that's her hair color there. So I'm gonna use those 4 colors. For the shirt, I'm gonna be using this blue, which looks about like that. Alright guys, I have my palette all mixed up. I'm not super in love with the highlight color, so I'm probably not going to use it much. And I think I do need a deeper shade for the hair, but we will get there later. And with that, the painting is more or less done. There are a few details I want to go in and add in about a week once it's like really settled in and I can go in. But they're going to be such minute, small things that really no one will notice except probably me. But basically it's done, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I haven't done an oil painting in so long, so I was definitely a little rusty with some of my techniques and the order of operations that I should and shouldn't be using. But the end product is super satisfying, which makes me want to do more oil paintings, but also my desk is a mess. So thank you for coming along this journey. Make sure to tune in next week for another riveting art video.